You're listening to WOHM Charleston 96.3 Ohm Radio. And welcome back. It's me, Luvie Smith, and you are listening to Season 2 of They Call Me Love. Welcome to Episode 1. I am so glad that you have come back to join me to listen to some of the goodness that's going to be spoken on this podcast today. And if you are new here, this show is all about loving your gifts to push you into your purpose. You know, a lot of people say, I don't have a purpose. Well, you do. And your purpose lies in those gifts and talents that you have. Everyone has a talent. Everyone has a gift. Even if it's small, there is something that is there that God has given you so that you can help others. And it's also going to help you to walk into your abundance. There are things that we have prayed for and meditated on and we're waiting for. A lot of those things are just on the other side of you being obedient and stepping out on faith, having that courage, releasing that fear, and doing something that you know that you need to do. You know, that thing that's all the way in your shanana, that's what I call it, in your belly, you know, something that you feel. Everyone has those feelings. So it's time to start to listen to those things. And this season, I want to get a little bit deeper into your purpose. So I will definitely still have many guests that are going to be here, but I want to start pulling out some of those gifts that can push you into your purpose. And one of those gifts is the gift of art. And you know, art is actually spiritual. Everything that I'm going to talk about on this season has a deeper meaning. And I just want to get you thinking outside of the box, right? So what is spiritual purpose of art? Well, I say by engaging in works of art, we can experience a sense of comfort and peace, as well as feelings of possibly unease and possibly even being challenged at times. But art invites us to encounter a gift, right? It is an encounter, which is a gift, a spiritual gift that might bring us into a deeper relationship with the Most High. So I just want you to sit back and listen to my guest today, who is Daniel Green. And you can also find him on all social media under The Art of Daniel Green. He is an artist in all sense of the word. He is a true creative, and he is someone that I met earlier in life when we both were still trying to find what our gifts and our talents were. And to look back then, to fast forward now, we both have come so far. I am so proud of Daniel and all of the things that he has accomplished. He is now a seasoned artist and has worked with so many that I can't even name them, many in the Lowcountry, but also not just here, but outside of South Carolina. But Daniel is going to talk about how it took his a little bit of push, right? A forced push to push him into starting his business and actually being the creative that he is. He is a graphic designer, a videographer, a photographer. You can see his sunflower all around the Lowcountry. He has tags everywhere. It's amazing. So I'm just glad that you're here again for season 2. This is episode 1, The Art of Purpose. There's so much purpose in you. Stay tuned. I have so much goodness for you. Make sure you check out my website, theycallmeluv.com. They Call Me Love. You can hit me up at Miss Luvie Smith on all social media, Luvie, that is. And yeah, tap in. I would love to have you on the show and, drop me some gems. Send me an email, info@theycallmeluv.com. Let me know how you're loving the show because I love you guys. All right, here's the interview. All right. And welcome back to They Call Me Love. Oh my goodness, y'all. It is season 2. And when I tell you, y'all about to get excited for all of the guests that I have for season 2. And one of the guests that I have today is a very good friend. And also I've known him before the bag. I was just saying that before the bag, during the bag, he's still getting the bag. I feel like I need to be there after the bag. The bag ain't going nowhere. Okay. Anyway, welcome Daniel Green, AKA Art of Daniel Green. That's how I call you. Isn't that all your social media? I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, keep it consistent, you know what I'm saying?
Keep it consistent? Okay. People need to know about that consistency. We need to talk about that, okay? That's a very important thing. But anyway, welcome to They Call Me Love. I definitely tell all of my guests, you are here for a reason. Everything here is all about purpose-driven things. And if you are here, I feel like you are walking and possibly running, in your purpose, which is something that is, inspiring, not only to me, but to others. So that's why I would love for you to talk about all of the things that you have been through to be able to get here, right? To where I am noticing your purpose. Like when other people start to notice that you're like doing good things, listen, you doing what you're supposed to be doing. Hi, Daniel. Okay.
Hey, what's up? I appreciate you, man.
Oh, do not get shy on me right now. Me and Daniel had a whole deep conversation before we even started to press record. I should have pressed record on the low on you, but I did. It is okay. Anyway, Daniel has us in here where I usually record, but he has come and set up all of his cameras. And, he's got those big boy cameras, those expensive ones, the ones where, we need to probably put on layaway. Do we even have layaway? Is like layaway still a thing? I don't even know, but remember
same
JCPenney?
thing, different package.
Just a different thing?
Yeah.
Do you remember putting things on layaway at JCPenney?
See, that was before I was getting things out of JCPenney.
Y'all don't
I think
remember
I was
that?
still getting Christmas clothes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like when we used to go to JCPenney or Dillard's and your mama used to put stuff on layaway. Y'all don't remember that? I don't know. My mama used to do that. Or grandma, somebody. I don't know. Yeah. Shout out to the moms. But anyway.
Shout out to moms.
Shout out to moms. All right. So, okay. They don't even know who you are yet. So for people who have no clue, right, who Daniel Green is, give them your elevator pitch or your little small, introduction of yourself.
Bro, I was just talking about this last night, yo. Like, elevator pitches are so weird to me because I'm so used to letting the work speak for itself.
That's good. Okay. Yeah.
And
that's interesting.
while it's great that I've worked with some notable people and businesses and stuff, I take pride in the fact that I was able to make a career out of just how good I do things versus who I worked with. So my artistic range goes from choreography and performing arts through graphic design, photo, video, illustration, animation. So I just bring visions to life, and I find myself in places where I'm able to solve a problem that not a lot of people can solve. So overall, I'm a creative director, but I could just consider myself an artist.
I was gonna say, for sure, right? A definite creative, because your resume has many things under it, right? When I was doing my research and trying to say, okay, well, what am I going to say he is, right? He's a photographer, but I was like, no, but he's also a videographer. I was like, but wait, also, he's doing graphic design and he's at events. I'm like, okay, so wait a minute, what is that, right? And I was like, yeah, a true creative, right? Somebody who has their hands in many different pots, right? And can truly excel in those spaces. So for you being a creative director, what do you feel was the first thing that made you step into your creativeness? Like, what was your first love,
Well, my first love as far as creativity was graffiti. I went to New York in probably 5th grade, and I was seeing all the murals everywhere, and I went online. I just typed in how to do graffiti. I found these websites that are it's called a forum, so it's almost like a Facebook, but that was before Facebook was really popping.
Yeah.
And so we would have a challenge. We would like draw the same word or something like that, draw our name, and then we had to do a bunch of stuff to it to make it look cool. And then, you know,
and you're in there doing that purposely, like, you know, because that's something that you would have had to really do on yourself. Nobody was like, hey, you need to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Where I was at, you know, I didn't have a lot of people that was into that too. You know, so I would go online, do whatever the challenge was, draw the word. I ain't even had a phone at the time. This was so long ago. I would borrow somebody's phone to take a picture of my drawing, upload it to the internet. But that's how I learned a lot of like 3D, using color, using characters. And then when you go to school and they teach you the foundation of stuff, it's just like, oh, this is like the same thing.
Come on, schooling. Okay. Okay. Do we fast forward that far? Because me and you met in multiple spaces. Charleston, is small anyway. So a lot of the creatives run in the same circles, or, you know, we know each other and things like that. But I initially probably met you in the good old, I don't know. I don't want to call it the horribleness on the radio, but we used to call it like the horrible ship, AKA ICOR.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean, because we used to go in there and, I mean, we worked our butts off, you know, in that place.
Listen, I had ICOR is a very interesting time. So I got really good at the job and, you know, excelled and, you know, started doing the supervisor things or whatever. But, then I got to a point where I didn't want to do that no more. And I was like, you know, I want to work for myself, but I didn't understand how I was going to make that happen. I would clock in because I understood the system so well. I would clock in at ICOR because they only do your attendance by your clock in and clock out time. So I'll clock in on time, leave work with my clients all day, come back 5 minutes before I got to clock out.
Let me tell you, why do I feel like I knew that? Because and keep in mind now, we was in management. I was on the training side, so I wasn't really worried about what was happening on certain sides of the company. But when I would see you, it was because you were coming and go. It was like you were moving. It was always because I saw you in the hall or, you know, or something like that. So the fact that you said that you was moving and shaking, you better grind on them people clock. Oh my gosh, Daniel, are you serious right now? Oh God, I love that. Okay, keep going. Then
ICOR eventually they hit me with a random. And at that time, I didn't know what resources I had.
Right.
So I was like, well, I've been getting these clients, so maybe I could just leave the job and then see if I can make that work. And that's what I ended up doing.
So I would definitely like to say to everyone out there, when the Most High has a plan for you, He will allow certain things to occur so that it will push you to where He told you that you needed to be in the first place, which was you needed to be using your creativity that He gave you, right? He's giving you the clients, right? But it could also be the convenience. It would be, you know, okay, let me get this bread here, right? Then it's also like, I don't know, but that push, that random, that was the push to take you here.
Right.
Like, you know, do you think you would have still been there if that didn't happen?
Man, how could I say? I don't define success the same way I used to define success. At that time, I felt like success was, the way you look, what you like, having a nice car, a nice house, or having a good position in the company, or even getting bonuses and stuff.
Yeah.
And now I measure success by like impact, how I can help those around me level up, things that I do and produce out of nothing.
Come on, creativity. That's what it is, right? You create something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And it becomes some big stuff, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of big things, right, of some of the projects, that you have been working on, fast forward, I wrote some down, but hold on. Before I get there, hold on. Let me stay on track. Y'all know I have my paper, right? Everybody knows who comes here. I always have my paper that's beside me, and I'm trying to stay on my paper, but it never happens. Okay, so y'all just bear with me. They already know. Okay, welcome to They Call Me Love. Anyway, so I put down ICOR, right, and I put down before the start of the business, right. So you got the random, and it's like, oh goodness. When was Trident Tech? Because this is another space that me and you also ran into each other. Again, Charleston is small, so we're at a corporate job together, right?
Yeah.
And then we run into each other in the doggone college, okay? So, and we're in separate programs. Shout out to Trident Tech anyway for radio and TV production. But I found out that you weren't even in that program. You just happened to be near all of us who were in that program.
Yeah.
Speak on what you were really there for, which I didn't even know.
Yeah. I went to Trident Tech for graphic design in 2012, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing about Trident is with it being a community college, people overlook it compared to universities and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say universities provide more marketing and more of a college experience, while community colleges provide more of the straight resource you're there for.
It's facts. Shout out to Francis Marion. I went to Francis Marion. But where I learned everything, truthfully, was at Trident Tech. They gave me my hands-on. I met the professors who really, truly believed in you and helped you and pushed you to develop the things that you needed to walk into. Yes. And so you're right, it's a smaller college, but it is a technical college. So, technical colleges give you certifications, and things like that. Shout out to my radio production certification. I have that. Okay, sorry. Yes, I work hard for them. Listen, though we had a lot of fun, I worked my butt off for them degrees in Trident. And I think a few of us, well, I don't know if you went, but a few of us went back a couple of times just to get a couple of degrees. But anyway,
nice.
You go ahead. Let me hear what you was doing out there.
So the thing about Trident is that it's a 2-year school, but very few people that go there for 2 years. I was there for 5 years before I got my associates. For graphic design, let's say a class don't get enough people to sign up, they drop the class.
Right, and so now you got to wait around.
So while I'm waiting around, I'm taking extra electives. And I'm like, if I'm going to take some electives, let me take these photography classes. So I could have a photography degree. I just didn't take the darkroom classes because the world was going digital. So I just was like, okay, I'm gonna learn digital photography. So whenever my class wasn't available, or I had to wait until summer to take the class, whatever, I would take photography classes to keep up my Pell Grant. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the Pell Grant.
Shout out to the Pell Grant.
For sure.
And then I had to take a photography class anyway for the degree. But I'm like, since I got to buy a camera, I might as well buy something that I can use outside the class.
I dropped that class because they told me I needed a camera. I just knew I was going to use the people camera, y'all. Y'all don't even know, but Trident has a lot of resources when it comes to photog, video stuff and stuff like that. So they have the equipment in there. But I don't know. Like you said, I'm just signing up because that was an elective or whatever I needed.
Yeah.
And then I got in the first day of class and it was like, yeah, you need this camera. And everybody in there came in there with these nice looking cameras. I was like, oh, this is the wrong thing for me. Let me go ahead and drop this because this is not happening. Okay. But I could have been a photog, y'all. No, that wasn't happening. Sorry.
Nah, they was wild for having us pay for all our art supplies for our classes.
Right.
Yeah, but
that was shame.
But I mean, it's cool, So I did that. That's when I found out I was good, though. I didn't know how to place myself as an artist. I was just doing things. And I was just like, here's this Photoshop technique I know how to do. here, watch. I'm gonna make somebody look like they float. Look.
Right. And you be doing that. I'm like, how do you do that stuff? Like, it's tedious. I think that was part of it. Maybe I got through maybe 2 of the classes and they had an assignment. And I was like, this is too much. Like, I felt like it was too much of my brain being used at the time. And I'm like, y'all creators, I don't know. You have to be a certain type of person. What are you, like, left-brained or something? Is that what it is? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, something like that.
It is.
One of them.
It's
sides.
like you... We're gonna look that up. Okay, we're gonna figure that out. That's hilarious. Okay, so shout out to Tried It. So you ended up taking some photography classes, and you said, I'm good.
Yeah, well, see, it wasn't even that I recognized I was good at photography. I found I was good as an artist. Now, when I was at Trident, that's when I learned that I was good, like, as an artist. Not just like a photographer or whatever. I didn't consider myself a photographer yet because I felt like I needed to have a full understanding of the craft before I assumed the title. Yeah. So my drawing classes, though, we had like self-portrait assignments, and
that's deep. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so we had to like draw ourselves or whatever. But then people started paying me to draw them and do their projects. So
you need that bread.
Yeah, I did that, and then the same thing happened in my painting classes. People were paying me to paint their projects, and so in order to do this without getting caught, you got to be able to switch your style up to where it looked like somebody else did it, but it still looked good. So you imagine how good you got to be able to do it like a different way.
It has to be different. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So whenever I do like projects for my clients, it look good, but it speaks solely for them. It looks completely different than something I did for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's when I was like, okay, I'm a little better than those around me. All right, so I ran with that. But then the same thing just happened in whatever else I was doing. I'm doing photography, and then I realized that the things that I studied, people ain't study. And I'm like, oh, okay. I thought y'all was like real in depth. All right. And then video, same thing. I was like, y'all video's trash. And then they was like, where your video's at? And I'm like, I ain't got to make a video to know that your video is trash. And, I was like, all right, I'll prove it. I'll make a video. And then, accolades, because that's just how that works.
Come on now. Level up in the craft. Listen, it's about using it too. Just use that gift. I know so many people who are just like super talented and they don't they second guess their talent, or they're worried about other people as well. And you just said it kind of like, you thought people were so in depth, but really they just doing what they needed. They just doing something, right? So if they're doing it, that means you could do it too, right? And you never know what else is going to come behind it or the edge that you're going to bring. So to someone out there, like, just because somebody else is doing it doesn't mean that you can't do it too. Like, hello, how many podcasts are there? Right now. So.
No, on my way here, I legit had that thought. I was coming here, right? And then, Sandpiper Lanes is a 7-Eleven now.
R.I.P. to the Sandpiper Lanes, y'all. We used to have some times back in the day, like a good bowling. There was nowhere to go here in Charleston, Right. So that was like a place to kind of hang out, and it is now a 7-Eleven.
But the thing is, before I made it to that 7-Eleven, within a couple lights, there's already another 7-Eleven. Yeah. There's a Sunoco. There's the one by Stall Road. Then
it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a bunch. It's multiple before you get here.
But they all packed.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a bunch of gas stations right here, but not any of these gas stations worried about customers.
Somebody gonna need some gas at that particular part of town or space in the road at some point.
I'm like, yo, there's people who drove past the Sunocos, the Hesses or whatever, to go to the 7-Eleven because it's new.
Yeah, you're right. Just because it's new.
You know,
I went in there just because it was new the other day. It wasn't impressive, but
so I was like, no matter what you're doing, like, it don't matter who else is already doing it. You still gonna be successful because it's you doing it. You know.
Hello. Hello, people.
Yeah.
Are you listening? Okay. I'm just saying. I feel like if something gets repeated, it's a reason. So you have said that. I've said that. Previous guests have all said, like, please just walk and do it. You know, because you don't know what comes next. And not only have you went to school, you got the foundation, you stepped out on purpose, you stepped out on faith, right? And really was, all right, I'm going to no longer do the 9 to 5. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to get my foundation. And then all of these other opportunities started to kind of fly to you. You've worked with some really big names. And I'm going to let you brag on yourself a little bit because this is what it's about. And I do believe that you need to kind of brag on yourself a little bit every now and then to remind yourself of the things that you've accomplished, right? Which should give you an additional push into what's coming next. So shout out to, first of all, I saw you were at the Black Food Truck Festival. That is a big deal here. For Charleston in the Black community, first of all, to have an event that large, right? Representing our people. And then here comes your videography with the professionalism, you know what I'm saying, behind it. How did you get involved? I'm not going to call his name. I'll let you call his name. How did you get involved with Black Food Truck Festival? Let's go.
Oh, well, I mean, all right. But I was involved with Black Food Truck Festival back when it was Trapioki. So, me and Marcus worked long time ago, and then he did the Trapioki event. I filmed that. That's coming up, by the way, October 21st.
I just was about to say, isn't that coming back up? Because did you do the video for that, the little intro? Because listen, y'all need to go look that up because the intro makes me want to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like it looked like a lot of energy, a lot of fun, a lot of pure calm energy. You know what I'm saying? Because music, trap music, has its own little thing right now, and it may not be the best, but man, they was in there having a good time, laughing and everything like that. So you're saying it's coming back around? Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, definitely. Everything that he throw, you want to go to.
Shout out to Marcus, y'all.
Yeah. He came to me. He was like, "Hey man, I got this idea, bruh. I want to throw a Black Food Truck Festival." I said, "Well, you ain't got to worry about nothing, bro. You're throwing a Black Food Truck Festival.
We're coming.
We're coming.
We're gonna be there. You talking about food? We represent for our culture, and we have a lot of food trucks here in the Lowcountry that some people really know about, but for him to bring highlight to them. Right. So now people really know. Like they had some vegan trucks out there, and y'all don't know. It's hard. Well, okay, let me stop talking about Charleston. But some good vegan places that are down here. But I'm talking about some soulness of the vegan foodness. It's not that many of those. Okay.
So the thing about vegan restaurants that's interesting is that so first of all, you got vegan restaurants and then you got vegan version restaurants. Okay, speak on it because he has a little background in this. Go ahead and speak on it. No, because you got a lot of vegan restaurants you go to and they'll serve you a Beyond Burger. And then you got other restaurants that'll serve you a completely new dish with some vegetables you probably learned today. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, for instance, you can go to Neon Tiger downtown and you can get a good vegan pizza down there. Or you can go to Dell's. I was just about to say. Dell's, actually, when I'm no longer vegan or vegetarian, okay, but when I was in that phase of my life,
Dell's, okay, is what brought me over, okay, and was like, oh, wait a minute, I can actually do this. Like, this is not just a salad and, every day and things like that. Because, you get stuck kind of in that, like, what do I eat? Something like that. But Dell's pizza, y'all, I don't even eat pizza, y'all. Like, pizza makes my stomach hurt. Cheese, that's part of it. Sorry, that's TMI. But whatever it was so much on the pizza.
Yeah.
You're going to get full. I don't know. Anyway, keep it going. Sorry.
Yeah.
We can eat that right now.
So, all right, you got the vegan restaurants that'll, give you like, soulful dishes with a bunch of flavors. And then you have vegan version restaurants that'll give you the same food you like at other restaurants, just a vegan version.
Vegan version. Okay, yeah.
It was scarce, or it was scarce, I should say, to have vegan options at restaurants at all. And then when the food truck festival came out, we were able to have we call it a vegan village. We got a line of them. And then but really a lot of the elements that are part of that was like some pioneering. I can cuss.
No.
Okay. There's some pioneering stuff. Because even the bands and the artists that they put on stage, these are guys that represent a genre of music that needed that highlight.
Come on now. Saying? Shout out to LaFay. Shout out to it was a bunch of people.
Red Sample Band. Psychedelics Raw.
Yeah. That was a whole thing. And it was needed. It was a good energy.
Yeah.
Like food, we're outside, the weather is good. Like that's a whole thing. We need that in our lives, y'all. Okay. For everyone to just, we need to go outside. Did y'all go outside today? Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, all right, so he did Chapioke and then Black Food Truck Festival. And then I'm like, it's gonna be lit, promise. And what's funny about Black Food Truck Festival, right? The very first promo that was made for the Black Food Truck Festival was a video I did at the venue that the festival was going to happen at, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so I had a treatment for like a more involved video, but then the best move to make was to get like a virtual tour video done. And so when we did it, I was probably there for like maybe like 10 minutes. I filmed it in like maybe like 5-10 minutes, something like that. And then I'm like, all right, I'm done. He's like, you done? You sure? Like, you, because people would think that if I'm not running around,
right,
then But then when I cut it up though, man, the numbers are on their website.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was a big impact. I think my first recap video did like 100,000 views or something like that.
Come on.
Then the performance videos, he's providing like almost like a Rolling Loud experience.
Yes. Yes, I can agree. Yeah, for sure.
Where the artists are being able to be treated like real artists, and the food trucks are honestly becoming headliners in their own right. People are coming to the festival because they know that Vibrant Alkaline gonna be there.
Yeah.
They know that Piece of Soul gonna be there. Or I know about the vegan restaurant, y'all. Y'all got your own restaurant.
That's me.
I be in my little village.
You be in your village with the vegans. Hey. Okay, I'm telling you, y'all all healthy and stuff over there and stuff. Okay, don't do us over here. Sometimes we need a little rib, a little chicken finger, or something. Chicken wang. Can't be.
There's some really good regular food restaurants.
Regular food restaurant. Shout out to the regular foods, you know.
What's beautiful about this thing in general, y'all, like, all right, so, you know, for those that want to become a successful camera person, you know, photographer, videographer, vlogger, if you want to be successful at that, first of all, doing the job right only means that you know how to use the equipment you paid for. Like, if you can make a pretty picture, it's because you bought you paid money to make sure that this equipment can make you a pretty picture. Mm-hmm. So as long as you can read the manual or whatever it takes to know how to use this, it's going to do what it's designed to do. When you use this camera, that's when you share what your experience of the world is, and that's when you use it as a tool to get you to spaces in life that you probably didn't even know you could benefit. When I started doing these, like a bunch of like events and festivals and stuff like that, I'm filming like big business conferences. I'm learning so much things about how to scale my business just because I can provide a service of quality. You know what I'm saying?
Drop them names.
I did something in Atlanta. Shout out to Drew Yates. That's one of my artists I work with. And we went to the big business conference in Atlanta. A bunch of artists and record labels coming together and sharing gems. And you know, we went to, I can't even remember dude's name, but he was like a big name producer. We went to his crib. He had like the nice setup and everything. And you know, he's doing like a consultation, and I'm there in the room taking in everything he talking about.
Yeah, come on, you education. Education is not just in the classroom, right?
Yeah,
like, it's everywhere, and take advantage of it, right? Like, we start rubbing them elbows, you know, just allowing yourself to be in the room too. You don't always have to talk to, you know, or be like, you know, the most animated or, you know, in the room or anything like that. Yeah. Like, your work, like you said, will speak for itself. And who you attach yourself with as well. You know, I really believe in that. That's really important. Purpose driven, for real. Attach yourself to those who are purpose driven, like you connecting with Marcus, right? He has a large idea, right? And he brought it to life, and then he needed you to help him with that, right? So if truthfully, without you, right, it would have still been successful, but with that marketing behind it, like, look where it's at. You know what I'm saying? People are coming from out of state, you know, to come to his event. And then I also wrote down Juneteenth. You were there too, because I saw you randomly. It was hot that day, or either it was hot or raining. I can't remember, but Juneteenth was a big deal. And I also wrote down some of our local folks who we love. Shout out to Chris Kalin, Mike London, who we all know. Shout out to Mike, love you. Cocktail Bandits, who I absolutely adore. Their energy is just so good. So keep going. I mean, the list goes on.
I could. You
can talk all day. I know, it's fine. Oh gosh, who was it Black Food Festival, or what was the first gig or whatever that you got that you was like, you know what, I think I actually I made it. I'm making it. I'm out here in these streets.
The first one that was like, I'm out here.
I am out here. Because y'all, 100,000 views, you know what I'm saying? That's serious, right? That means 100,000 people have watched you, you know? And if 100,000 people just on that one, that means many people, you know, have watched you that you probably don't even realize that's still coming towards you in the future here for some opportunities as well.
Then it's so wild. I did a video with my boy Yada. It was the one take video, and it was like an internet challenge, you know, like somebody be like, you know, rappers make a verse on this beat and I'll choose the best one for blah blah blah. But the guys who did the one take challenge, it was his name escapes me, but his business is called Buff Nerds Media. He's the director for this was Super Duper Cow, I think it was. They came together and they did this challenge, and they had I think Kato, the producer, make a beat, and guys. But the challenge was you had to make a video in one take and record the verse in one take, and the best video wins.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And these guys have like thousands and millions of people on their pages and stuff. So, Buff Nerds, he's like one of the big YouTube guys, so there's going to be a flock of videographers that's going to be in the contest.
Come on. Everybody want to do it.
Yeah. When we made it to the top 20, I was like, oh, hold up.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, a lot of opportunities came from the experience of just doing that video and the way that I did the video. I ended up doing like a lot of music videos, and I did music videos just to show y'all that I can do creative stuff. And then I apply that to commercials, and then I apply that to events, So I think that was probably the first, one of the early moments of,
come on. He was like, yes, I'm doing this thing.
Yeah.
I'm out here.
Yeah. That was cool.
That's what's up. You are out here, and definitely running. Do you feel like you're in your purpose?
I feel like my purpose is redefined itself. Them articles, the online articles that is like shouting out entrepreneurs and artists and stuff. I got like a bunch of them I need to send a bio to.
Get on it now. Get on it.
They had asked me for what my purpose was, and I had wrote up the bio. And then I was like, all right, get the picture, and I'm going to send it, whatever. When I came back to it, I was like, dang, my answer's different now, Because before I felt like my purpose was to bring visions to life. Because I can what's the word? I can decipher dreams. I can take something that you have a vision for and tell you what you need to make it happen in a clearly communicated fashion. And, so I kind of maneuvered through that to reach where I'm at now. But,
oh, that means you have so much more. Yeah, there's much more purpose. But I actually have a dream interpretation series here. That is one of the prophetic gifts that I've been given, and I use it. So it's funny you say dream. So you need to, tap on into that. Use it.
Yeah.
Tell these people out here in these streets, okay?
Yeah. So that gets
they need it.
I guess that gets me to like how I define my purpose now. Because you may be familiar with the sunflower that I put in my work. Right?
Yes, come on, sunflower that moves. Okay, it dances. It does a whole bunch of stuff.
So I wanted to start doing brand collabs. But I didn't like the way I was being defined. Not that I didn't like it, but it was not completely defining me. It was only defining one thing, one part of it.
Oh yeah.
And so I did a music video a while ago in a sunflower suit, and it became like a running thing. When I take a picture with a sunflower, it's a inside of what me and my following, we got this thing with sunflowers. You know, and so. I made that a character so that I can tell the story of really I'm kind of telling all of our stories, but it's a metaphor for the awakening of our people.
Come on, growth. Yes.
Through inner work, shadow work, whatever, just there's stages of growth that happens behind the scenes in order for you to see the success that you see. Mm-hmm. You know, I had to learn how to think a certain way. I had to learn how to think of myself a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, writing the story that I'm doing for that kind of opened me up to a different way of viewing things. Like, now I'm creating so that I'm writing so that a certain perspective that we all share can be recognized. Mm-hmm. You know, so if you look at my page, Return of the Flower, that's why I do like a lot of the artwork and stuff like that. That's going to be more of like my Walt Disney World, if that makes sense.
It does. I can see that. Y'all need to go look on his website so that you can actually see the flower. But on his social media and everything too. Yeah. So you can actually see the sunflower that he's talking about. You can even randomly find a sticker of the flower randomly across the Lowcountry here. And if you do find it, take a picture and tag him. I think it's interesting that a lot of your followers do that. Like, I've seen so cool. that like in your store. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, that's so the cool. flower. Like, that is so cool. Like, and it's in the most random like places that you just would never think of, but that speaks to like the power of marketing and just like how, you know, you can get your name out there in different ways. And for sure, come on, growth. We need some growth up in our community and just in our purpose life, and goals and things that we're doing, because you talked about that shadow work. You know, a lot of people don't like that word or think it's like a new age or whatever. It's really just, you know, addressing the issues or things that you need to heal from. I mean, to be completely honest, you know, a lot of us walk around like truly hurt and don't even realize that we're, you know, holding on to different hurt, and you watch things happen like your health declines or, you know, weird things like start happening with your money or whatever. It's all related to, you know, what you're putting out, who you're around and things like that. So I also noticed that you have on your crystal bracelets. I have on my black onyx today. What is this, amethyst? And the one that you have right here, I actually had that on and I took it off because I changed my outfit.
Oh, wow.
When you came in, I was like, okay, I was supposed to keep it on. Like, that's what it was. But I was like, you know, anyway, you know, I know everybody's like weirded out sometimes with when it comes to crystals or just different things. I just want y'all to know that crystals are in the Bible. Okay. I just want y'all to know y'all need to go look in the word. Okay. Because I'm just saying, you know, people are always like going against different things like rituals and things like that. Y'all, the Bible is a ritual, y'all. You know, I don't know.
Okay. All right. So those underlying perspectives is what you'll find in Return of the Flower. Come on, so like I make sure I include crystals because that was just one of the chapters in this big book of what we call, you know, spirituality, whatever, right?
Transformation, leveling up.
So the thing about crystals that's interesting is that, like, well, you know, diamonds have a spiritual meaning too.
Yes, come on.
You know, I don't remember, but I think that diamonds was a way of like kind of expanding your consciousness.
Clarity. I think it's clarity and ascension as well. But
absolutely. So I'm like, okay, but what I was really inspired by was like, all right, are you familiar with Kingdom Hearts?
No. So educate me.
Kingdom Hearts is well, all right. So are you familiar with Naruto?
The who?
Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, there we go. Come on now. I said who? Who? Somebody heard it. Okay, somebody out there heard it and was like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, go ahead. Like who? Hold on, who? Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we know Dragon Ball Z to be about these guys from another planet who have these abilities to create these lightning things and energy things, right?
Yes, they could. Yeah, you're right. Lightning.
Yeah. So that's a real thing. We can create these energy things. This is all things that happen within us.
Energy is real, y'all.
you know, and Naruto is a show that focuses a lot on the chakras. That's the way that they create their energy things. Whatever the effect is, it comes from their. In Dragon Ball Z, they refer to chi, and then Naruto they refer to chakra. You know, so whatever your cultural approach to it, you have energy within you, and you know when you learn to channel your energy, you have superpowers that you can do. You know,
facts. So we need to pay attention to what we are ingesting. Yeah. Okay, because what we are ingesting can definitely affect you spiritually, you know, not physically, emotionally, all types of stuff. Like just people just walk around oblivious, you know, sometimes to things, or just purposely ignore. But y'all,
but that's what Return of the Flower is all about. Getting back to our roots. You know, so the more you see, the more you know. You know.
Put it like that. It's getting deep. Come on. Daniel, tell the people, you know, anything that you want to leave with them as far as, one, how they can find you, right? Because they need to book your services. But also, you know, what do you feel would be just some purposeful advice, maybe, or just a word that's on your spirit that you may have been thinking about to give to the people, you know?
Oh, we live a lot of our lives based off of social media and the way we're perceived and the way that we come across to others, and all that's whack. That is whack, y'all. Like, I meet people often, and you know, I'm like, hey, what up, man? I'm Daniel. He like, oh, word, what up? Keep walking, whatever. Like 5 seconds later, they come back around like, wait, you're Art of Daniel Green? And I'm like, yeah, same guy. But I just wish you would shake my hand as firmly as you did now when I first introduced myself to you. But that's just the spell that we're under when we're just attracted to this online presence, you know?
Yeah.
People need a reason to respect you. Y'all don't need a reason to respect nobody, bro. Like, I done did a lot of stuff. I done worked with a lot of people. I done collab with a lot of big names that we didn't even mention. But I was already great before I did any of those things. Really a mindset journey. You know, when you first start trying to do something, you have this I'm not good enough. Then you think you're good enough. And then now you're looking at the people who are in the position you want to be in, and you be like, why isn't that me? And then you start doing what you're doing, or whatever. And then you looking out for accolades now. Why ain't I included in this? I want to be included in that. All that. That's just a distraction. Mindset. If you skip past that, you probably cool, but you probably won't.
Those things will come. Things like that. Accolades they will come as you continue to do what you're like, you know, and like, you know, stop trying to compare yourself to other people. I definitely have tried. For sure. I've done that for sure. But then at the end of the day, it goes back to what is your gift? What is your gift? And everyone has a different right? Purpose, right? I say it all the time. If I just reach one person on the show and they heard us say run into your purpose, and now they're doing it, then I did, you know, what I was supposed to be doing. So hopefully everyone out here is receiving something, and that you receive something from Daniel today as well. Make sure that you go check out. What is the website? Let me not get it right.
If you want to book me for anything, artofdanielgreen.com will take you there. If you want to see how I express myself, you can look up Return of the Flower.
Come on, expression. Okay. Y'all. So good to talk to you. This was good. This was good. This cool. You know, guess what time it is? Guess what time it is? 222. 222.
y'all. When I talk about the synchronicities, we started at 111. We were in here and we were caught it and we were talking about right at the end. Here we are. Talks about God's promises. Talks about God's promises and the things that we will receive. It talks about double promises. It talks about double promises as well. Those double blessings that we should receive. So I definitely received the double blessings. The double blessings that's coming upon us for being obedient and talking today. I thank you for sharing your heart and being transparent. For those, I do believe somebody will definitely receive something. The words that you spoke today, and I'm so excited for the goodness that's coming in your life, and I will continue to always support you from afar and laugh at your jokes. Daniel has always been joking. That's how I know Daniel. That's how I know him. He's joking. He's joking. He has a sense of humor, right? So he's always cracking jokes and stuff like that. But as you watch somebody grow and walk in purpose, you kind of watch them mature. You watch them mature, and you definitely are growing into your flower. I'm so excited for everything that you have. So thank you so much for being here with They Call Me Love. And
thank you so much. I appreciate you.
It's the love for me. Okay. Thank you so much, Daniel Green, The Art of Daniel Green. You can find him all over social media. So much love to you, and I'm so glad that you came and sat down with me. Y'all go check him out now, I'm telling you. And make sure you stay tuned with me throughout the whole season 2 of They Call Me Love. Remember, it's all about using those gifts so that you can find your purpose in life. And it gets so much deeper. We're going to talk about what is spirituality and finding purpose. And just a little snippet, it's really about spiritual well-being. It's like the ability to establish meaning and find purpose in our lives through the fusion of art, right? Nature, and it's like a sense of connection beyond self. It can benefit our overall well-being to cultivate both our sense of inner understanding and our sense of place. So stay tuned. I would love to hear from you and also have you come on the show. So send me an email, info@theycallmelove.com. That's LUV. And I'm on social media. If you just put in hashtag They Call Me Love, LUV, you'll find me at Miss Luvie Smith, MSLUVIE Smith. Ohm Radio. Check out the archive. Season 1 is up. ohmradio963.org is where you can find it. And I am Miss Luvie Smith, and I just speak so many blessings over you. Have a wonderful week. Make sure you check out my Monday motivations. It'll definitely get you started during your week to get you off to be positive, right? Say something good about yourself today. Love on someone today. And they call me love. I'll see you next time. You're listening to WOHM Charleston 96.3 Ohm Radio.